Caution, 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 junior, double, triple caution. Caution's made me super nauseous. Rex ruled this day at LA. Have it your way. We got a spin! Hey guys, NRG Mobile 48 back again. That's right, we have rebranded into a new name. Welcome back to another episode of NRR. In today's video, we're going to be doing a mini review of the 2023 Busch Light Clash that took place today, and oh my gosh, it was sloppy. It was pretty sloppy, especially at the start of the second half after the whole Wiz Khalifa concert, which in my opinion was better than the Ice Cube one from last year. But going back to the race, man, that sloppiness that we saw really kind of ruined it for me, and I saw a lot of people on Twitter talking about it because I believe what last year in the Busch Light Clash we only had 5 cautions total, including the halftime show. Today, I'm pretty sure we had well over 15, so that's not really a good spotlight right there and stuff. And I bet some of the fans didn't really enjoy it like that, but it's still a race, so we still have to review it. So in this mini review, we're going to look at our top 5 finishers from this race. We're going to rate the race. Then we're going to be talking about our drivers of the day. It's going to be who's the best driver of the day overall. Then we're going to look at our underdog driver of the day, comeback driver of the day, and finally, who sucked, who was the unlucky driver of the day. And then we'll finally wrap it up there. So let's go ahead and get started in our first mini review of 2023. First off, getting the win was Martrix Jr. Congratulations to Martrix Jr. What a win for him it was in today's Busch Light Clash. Definitely something to dust off the shoulders after having a terrible and struggling 2022 season, after not being able to win a race in 2022, failing to make the playoffs, and it was his first winless season since 2014, which was his, I believe, penultimate year with Furniture Row before they switched to Toyota and stuff. So that wasn't really the best statistic to come up of. And then we also know about all the news behind the scenes of Martrix Jr.'s personal life, which I will not get into today, or just get into overall. But anyway, Martrix Jr. was able to come back from all of that and get the win here today in the LA Clash. He was definitely one of the fastest cars all weekend long. I'm pretty sure he led in one of the practices. So Truex had a fast car. Him, his teammate Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, and a couple other drivers had really fast cars. And what a race it was for Truex. Dominated most of this race, and it dominated it towards the end. Now, there was a lot of beating and banging throughout the field. Truex was involved with a little bit of that, going for the lead against drivers like Ryan Preece, his former teammate Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, Toyota teammate Bubba Wallace, and a few other drivers, even Austin Dillon towards the end of the race. But he was able to hold on, pull away from Kyle Busch and Austin Dillon to be able to hold on for his first ever Clash win. So congrats to Martrix Jr. and the number 19 team. Finishing runner-up was Austin Dillon. Rudder run for Austin Dillon, the number 3 team. He started 10th, able to finish second. Definitely wasn't one of the drivers I thought who would be able to compete for the win, but he was looking really strong. So guys, don't know further, but RCR is starting to turn it around. And they even said on the broadcast that having Kyle Busch at that team is going to change them. And that's definitely happening right now. Austin Dillon had a really strong run, so I'm not sure if that was just one good run. We have to see how they do throughout the season, but like we said with 2311 Racing, with having Kurt Busch join the team, a veteran driver, Bubba Wallace has gotten better. So a veteran driver is all it takes for a small team or 2-car team to get better. So props to RCR getting Kyle Busch on that deal, but also really great run for Austin Dillon in today's race. Definitely made a few enemies today. Kind of got into it with Bubba Wallace during after the second to last restart, and then he eventually knocked Bubba Wallace out of the way. Dillon sounded innocent, saying like he didn't really mean to, and he said he felt bad for it, but behind the scenes, I know Austin Dillon did not. I could just tell from Austin Dillon. But hey, racing's racing, and I bet Bubba Wallace, he's definitely not going to forget that. So just remember, we still have a full 36 races to go, and it could come around a time where Dillon could get can get payback at the wrong time. So we'll just have to wait and see for that. But still, a second place finish for the 3-car. Finishing third in his RCR debut was Kyle Busch. After starting sixth, Kyle Busch able to get a nice solid third place finish here at the LA Memorial Coliseum. Pretty strong run for Kyle Busch. Definitely had one of the best Chevrolets out there all along. I believe Kyle Busch was leading for like a couple laps, and then he was just going at it with Martrix Jr. Then at one point, Kyle Busch kind of got the nudge from Logano. Actually, not a nudge. Freaking Logano freaking came out of nowhere down the front stretch, sent it in, somehow missed the two cars and smidged in between them and hit the back of Kyle Busch, spinning him around. Luckily, Kyle Busch was able to come back from that and was able to get up inside the top five and end up with the third place finish. I mean, knowing Kyle Busch in the past, definitely would have done something to Joey Logano while he was passing him, but Busch did nothing to Logano. He just knew he had a better car and knew that he could come out and win the race and ended up getting a third place finish. So bronze medal for him and a silver medal for his teammate. So really nice start for RCR to start off to kick off 2023. Let's see how this can transfer from the short track to the Daytona 500. Can Kyle Busch finally win a Daytona 500 because he's with Chevrolet? I don't even know. Finishing in fourth was Alex Bowman. Starting in fifth today, Alex Bowman was someone I was really paying attention to. Well, not just because he's my favorite driver in the Cup Series now, but still, he still had a really good day. He ran up inside the top 5, top 10 all day long. He was up there with behind like guys like Truex and Kyle Busch and Dillon and Hamlin and Bubba Wallace and all of them, but he was lurking really close and was also up there trying to battle with Ryan Preece at one point. So Bowman was really starting to sneak in there towards the end of this race. Just was not enough, and he was running on the outside line, kind of got stuck up there and kind of fell back through traffic. So that kind of sucked for Bowman, but he was able to regain from that and end up with the fourth place finish. Thought Bowman was about to get his first Clash win. I mean, still got a fourth place finish, so I'll take that. Still some pretty decent momentum going into Daytona next week. Now, all we need to know and find out from Bowman is can he keep that streak alive on starting on the front row for Hendrick Motorsports for what? If he does it this year, would it be what, the fifth or sixth year in a row? Who knows? But can Bowman do it? We'll have to wait and see in 2 weeks. Or not 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks. And rounding out the top five and fifth was Kyle Larson, who started 14th in this race. Larson was really quiet for most of the day. Really haven't heard his name all day. All I did was see the front end of his car really damaged from all the beating and banging throughout the mid pack of the field. And he was in, I guess, in a couple of the wrecks, but really wasn't really talked about throughout the race. Not much like last year where he freaking just wrecked Justin Haley, sent him straight into that wall. But Larson was able to have a somewhat not clean day, but still get a nice top five finish. So it's not a podium, but still a decent finish for Larson in this Busch Clash. We'll see how he can contribute to the Daytona 500. And looking at the rest of the top 10, we have Reddick finishing in sixth, Preece finishing in seventh after having some sort of an electric issue, but still able to finish in the top 10. Chastain, who got into it with Denny Hamlin, finishing in eighth. Hamlin finishing behind Chastain in ninth, so we might see something with them later throughout the season. And William Byron finishing in 10th, also had a really strong Chevrolet today. So those were your top finishers. Now let's rate this race. So now to rate this one, it was sloppy, it was wild, there was a lot of cautions, especially after the second half. The first half was much better, the halftime show was really good and stuff, but I really wish we could add that to the race overall, because the racing in the second half was really not that good. I felt like it could have been better. It's just everyone was just going at each other's throats. Everyone was wrecking, spinning, doing all of that. Like, it was crazy. Like, I hate that. I hate it when things go to that type where I just want to see some good short track racing, but then just caution and caution and caution and caution. I mean, come on, really? But to rate this one, this was going to be a high score after what I saw in the first half, so I thought it would be better going into the second half, knowing everyone was going to get down to the nitty gritty, but got worse. So I was a really bit disappointed with that one. So if I had to rate the Busch Clash for 2023, it's not going to start off that high. I'm going to give it a 5.5 out of 10. It was just, I don't know. It just wasn't it. The first half was pretty decent. I love the halftime show, but the second half, especially at the start, it took like what? Didn't it take like what, 20, 30 minutes to get through what, the first 10 laps of the second half? Like, really? It took that long. Like, come on. It's ridiculous. And heck, I'm pretty sure the longest green flag run that we had during the second half was like 10, 12 laps, something like that. Like, it wasn't even that long. So, bit of a disappointment right there, but I'm going to give it a 5.5 out of 10. Not the rating I wanted to start off with for 2023, but hopefully things can get better from here. So, we'll just have to wait and see. But let me know what you guys would rate it in the comment section below. Now to look at our drivers of the day. Starting off with unlucky driver of the day, gotta give it to Bubba Wallace if I can speak. Yes, gonna give it to Bubba Wallace. Started eighth in this race. He looked like he had a really fast car compared to last year. Unfortunately, when he was up there, running for the win, him and Austin Dillon kind of went at it, and then eventually got too close, and then Dillon kind of got into the back of Bubba Wallace and spun him out after Bubba Wallace kind of got into his door. They were really going at it, and then eventually Dillon finished him off. So it really does suck for Bubba Wallace. Really had a good shot to get a good finish or possibly even win the race, but that's just racing. That's just short track racing, just the nature of it. So I'm not gonna let. Hopefully, this doesn't put Bubba Wallace like in the deep shadows. It's only the LA Clash. It's not like it's the Daytona 500 from last year where he finished second, came that close. So hopefully, he could take this mental attitude going into Daytona and show him, okay, I'm gonna get him right here. I'm gonna get it. But don't worry, I'm pretty sure Bubba Wallace added to that notebook that he's gonna get to Austin Dillon again. We're not sure. I'm surprised he didn't like go talk to him. He was just sitting in his car looking moody and drinking his drink or water, whatever that was and stuff. But I do really feel bad for Bubba Wallace. And hey, at least he didn't DNF like freaking what? Eric Jones and Ty Gibbs both had suspension issues. Cindric had an engine issue, and then apparently Todd Gillen and Michael McDowell, the two FRM cars, had fuel issues. They both started to run out of fuel with all the freaking caution laps we had. So I do really feel bad for those two guys, especially even with Bubba Wallace, because they just ran out of fuel because we kept running so many goddamn laps because there's so many cautions, caution, Junior Bacon Chicken caution. All right, let's just move on. For underdog driver, or no, not underdog, but comeback driver of the day, I'm going to give it to Denny Hamlin. Started third in this race, was running up front, led a couple laps for a little bit, and then eventually kind of fell his way back after I believe he was on the outside and just kept losing positions and then fell back to like 12th and then eventually had that incident with Chastain and lost even more spots and was able to regain from that and finish in the top 10 in ninth. So decent comeback for Denny Hamlin in the 11 team. Definitely going to be seeing him going after Chastain once again this season. Underdog driver of the day has to go to Ryan Preece. Definitely made a huge charge to the front. Started 16th. Was able to get inside the top three pretty fast. And I believe at the start, like during like the second half of this race. And then after that, he took the lead away from Martrix Jr. Was able to hold the lead for a good fat minute. And then eventually just got a bad restart. Tricks got to him. He fell back and then started having electrical issues. But then he was able to get back under his own speed and was able to hang inside the top 10 to get a nice solid seventh place finish. So after starting 16th, that's a really good finish for Priest, but that shows you what he can do in this 41 car. And also got to think, short track racing, that's his route because he's raced in the modified series. And Joey Logano knows him. He knows how good Ryan Priest is if you put him in good equipment. I mean, he was in JGR equipment in the Xfinity series and won two races. So don't count out Ryan Priest, guys. So maybe he still has to, even in this 41 car, he still has to work on other tracks like intermediates and road courses. But just you wait. Once he gets to those short tracks, his bread and butter tracks, especially at New Hampshire, oh man, he's definitely going to turn some heads. Poor Cole Custer, poor Cole Custer. And finally, overall driver of the day has to go to Martin Truex Jr. I mean, he led the most laps. He was out in front for most of the day, was in the top five pretty much all day long, had a really fast car in practice that we saw. You definitely just could not stop Martin Truex Jr. Kyle Busch almost had something for him, but just not enough. So congrats to Martin Truex Jr. once again. Now let's wrap this video up. So that's going to do it for that. As you can see, it says NRG Mobile over here. I'm going to change my logo pretty soon, but I'm not sure when. But in other stories to talk about from this race, it was, like I said, it was mediocre. Could have been better. But some things that we've learned before the race was that Jimmy Johnson's going to be running at the Chicago Street Course, and I'm going to the Chicago Street Course, so that would be pretty cool to see. And then also, Kevin Harvick is going to be in the Fox booth with Clint Boyer and Mike Joy at the start of 2024 for Fox, so that should be really good. But then speaking of Fox, they were missing some camera angles again, and I've just had it at this point. I mean, because I think it was that Blaney wreck that I showed in my intro where they pointed it out, but then they still showed the replay of something else that happened and then cut back to that. Like, come on. Seriously, it's so stupid. And that's why for this TV deal, I don't want Fox back. I don't want them back. But I don't know what I want at this point because if NASCAR doesn't go back to Fox and stuff, then doesn't NASCAR what lose Mike Joy and Clint Boyer, or do they go to a different company? I'm not really sure. Could they be the commentators for like Amazon Prime if NASCAR goes to Amazon Prime? I don't know, but I don't really want Fox back. And if we do get Fox back, I'm not really going to be that happy. But the only thing I really like about Fox is that the people that we have. I don't like the cameramen. They suck. They literally suck. Okay, I'm sorry. They just suck. But whatever. I don't know if anyone else has noticed that from today's race, but that's what I've noticed. But other than that, they kept everything clean other than missing a couple of wrecks. But yeah, so that's going to do it for today. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about me doing like a mini review. Well, somewhat of a mini review. It's like 15 minutes long, but let me know what you guys thought of this review here today. I'm probably not going to get to every single review of the race. I'll probably do the Daytona 500. I'm not really sure, but I'll just see how it goes. But still, I really appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you check out my Instagram, link in the description, and my the link to the gaming channel, link in the description. Really close to 200 subs over there. So please subscribe, like, comment, share. Do appreciate you guys. Really close to 250, and I still thank you guys so much for that. Really do appreciate it. But the Daytona 500's in 2 weeks, Super Bowl next week. It is going to be a nice next couple of weekends with the NFL going away and NASCAR coming back. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great rest of your night. This NASCAR, or no, not NASCAR, NRG Mobile 48. Peace out.